Hello, Airtable community. My name is Enrique, and I'm going to show you what I came up with for this hackathon. I honestly did not have a whole lot of time, so this is about 2 hours. But I thought it was perfect for a hackathon because you want to be quick and dirty. Anyways, so I built a blackjack game. So definitely nothing useful. I figured most of us building on our table are doing useful stuff on a daily basis. So in a time like a hackathon, I feel like it'll be fun to do something that you normally wouldn't do. So all right, I'm just gonna go and give you a quick demo, and then I can explain a little bit more. So I'm just gonna start the game. I'm gonna make two players, and this is demo. All right, so it's gonna create the game. What you're seeing now, it was my last game here, and Airtable is taking its sweet time. All right, there we go. So you loaded. The top you have kind of like the demo, the game information, like what's the status in progress, who's the current player, turn, the time, number of players, and then just the notes. So now I'm gonna come down here. You can see here my list of players. Right now everything's just kind of waiting, pending. So okay, so I'm player one. So I'm gonna hit. You have a status and a result. So right now it's gonna take its little time because our table is not the fastest, but there. So I got my card. So I have a total of five. So I'm gonna hit again. And then I got another one. So here I could decide to keep going or hit. I'm gonna hit. Oh wow, okay. Now I got lucky. So I'm gonna stand right there. All right, so I stand, and then that basically gives me to the next player. So I just select player two, and then since I'm not playing with anybody else, then it's just going to be me again. But the cool thing about this is that you could have these multiplayer. So if other people are joining here, they could also technically play, right? So okay, I'm gonna hit again. And again, this is the simplest build you can do with this, but you could add so much more. You can have like player profiles. You can have a leaderboard. You can do so many things. So I'm at 12. I'm definitely hitting. Let's see what happens. Oh wow. Okay. Well, obviously I will stand. And now it goes to the dealer's turn. So the dealer is going to do automatically because it's kind of like the computer playing. So you got an ace, got a 14, it's going to hit again. Um, you can see my mouse here. I'm not hitting any buttons. It's just kind of going. So it hit 16. The dealer usually stops after 16. So in this case, yep, they lost. So that was basically the end of the game at that point, right? The game ended. Um, and then what happened is both players won because we both were higher than the dealer. So yeah, so that's kind of how that works. Let me just see how many minutes I got here. Okay, I can do another demo since there's still time. I just want to see a few. Um, I want to see if we can do something more interesting, like busting or something like that. Um, Demo two, create. There we go. All right, so automations are obviously running in the background, setting up the game. All right, so I'm gonna hit, and it basically is just one game is one hand or one, you know, we could eventually do it so that we could have, you can continue playing and then you kind of keep a score, right? Or we can do money, right? And actually like, okay, here, I'm just gonna stand. You can actually assign money values, and then you can see how much you're winning or losing, right? So there's so many more things we could do. But this is just the simplest iteration of this. Again, also visuals, not the prettiest. But it gets the idea out, I believe. 14. This time I just want to bust just so that we can see it. 18. Okay, normally I would have stayed, but I want to bust just for the demo. Oh my god. Okay, so this is interesting. I got an A, so it actually when it counted as one rather than a 10, right? So that's also something that, is happening in the background. But then after this, I'm definitely busting, right? So there. So you saw that I busted. So bust, I lost, right? So now we go to the dealer, and the dealer's probably starting to play. Yep, there we go. 10 and 20. It's gonna stand. And so yeah, the dealer won this time around, right? So yeah, so I thought that's pretty cool. Let's just show you in the database what's going on here. So I have a table and I chose to do 4 decks. And the reason for that is because obviously we're playing very little games at a time. It's not, one deck would be enough, but again, it's scalable. So that when we do play more games, that could happen. I actually use Airtable AI to actually create the images, so that's pretty cool. Then the rest is just pretty generic stuff. I'm assigning it a base value so that we know what they count. I'm tagging the ones that are A's so I know. And then I'm just having some, this is just from the hand. So the other table is hands. So this is eventually every game, or I guess let's just go to a game. A game has status, what you saw, what the currency is. Here's all the hands. So when you create a game, you create all the hands depending on how many players you select. So it creates it here. Um, so yeah, so let's go back to hands. So the hand will be like player 1, 2, 3, or dealer. And then these are the actual cards that get selected while we're playing, right? Then you have some kind of lookups and counts, which eventually is going to give me the best total, which is a formula that is essentially just checking to see that it makes sure that the ace it treats it either as a 1 or a 10. And then I have some few other things to determine how to then determine if you won or lost. If you stand and you're waiting for the dealer to also stand, so I have some stuff for there too. And then let's take a look at the automation. So we have an automation for setting up the game. So again, pretty straightforward, not dynamic. I only made it for 3 players. Then you have an automation for standing. So when you decide to stand, what are you going to do? Who are you going to hand the next game to, or like the next turn to? So all those things happen here. Then you have a bust or blackjack. So if you bust, the game ends for you. You move on. Or if you hit blackjack, the game also ends and you move on. So this is what these automations are doing. And then here's the hit. So here's where we're doing a script, and this is where we're basically getting a randomized card. Basically, that's what we're doing. And then he's we're determining if you're below 21, if you're 21 blackjack, or if you're greater than 21, then you bust. Then you have a dealer start. This is just simple. It's just basically telling that the dealer record to start playing because the dealer is a computer. Then you have a dealer automatic play, which essentially is very similar to hit, with the script, but it is make sure that it is for the dealer when it's their turn and when they're playing. And then in here we have a few other things where because the dealer has to stop playing when they hit 16 or greater. That's the only difference. It's just like the house rules for the dealers. And then the last thing is just we're checking any player that was in, the game, that they're in any hand that is in progress, and that it basically, uh, any player that it was in the stand status, we will be checking for those and we'll compare them to the dealer. Or if you're the dealer, it will compare it to the highest value of any player that was in stand. So that's basically all the automations, and the interface super simple. I also have a cards one with just a list of cards. So yeah, let me know what you think. I thought this was kind of fun. If I had a few more time, a little bit more time, I could have made a few cooler stuff, maybe like probabilities, like what's the percentage of hitting bust or actually hitting blackjack, those sort of things. But yeah, I think this was pretty fun, even though it won't really be that useful. But I think it does show the different things you can do with Airtable that are just not very necessarily traditional, as like, it's not project management, it's not marketing or anything like that. It is very different, but you can obviously use the ideas here to create any other things that could be so much more useful. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you.